Welcome back to another edition of Prem Brulee, the number one podcast in your headphones. I'm your host, Premal, and I'm back, joined again by comedian Thomas Lewis. Welcome back, man. Thanks for joining me.
So glad to be here, Premal. Always love hanging out and being on this podcast.
I appreciate you so much, and without further ado, let's get started on Yeah Fam or Nah. First up, the Atlanta Hawks CEO, Steve Koonin, says to start and end the season 2 months later. So his argument was to increase the NBA's ratings, and under his proposal, the start of the NBA season would shift from mid-October to mid-December, and it would be after college football has completed its regular season and has begun its bowl season. More important, the shift would allow the NBA to avoid having to compete with the NFL's regular season, as it currently does in those first 2.5 months before what most people consider the unofficial start to the league, which is Christmas Day. This would make the NBA Finals take place sometime in August rather than June like they currently are, and the draft and free agency would come after that. And basically, the idea is that the NBA could dominate summer months. They'd only be going up against the start of Major League Baseball instead of fighting with football for territory. So, yeah, fam or not, the Atlanta Hawks CEO's proposal.
Yeah, this is a slam dunk. This is absolutely. I mean, I don't really even treat Christmas Day as like an unofficial start, but I do know that is what people do. I'm one of those basketball fans that literally only watches big matchups and then the playoffs. And I'm a pretty big basketball fan, but I can't sit through 81 games of 82 games of anything. Like, there's just no way. So I think moving it back and giving it more room where I have other shit, like I have less shit to watch, is perfect. So yeah, this is a slam dunk.
I agree. I'm so for this. Yeah, fam. He said it best. I'm one of those that does treat Christmas Day as like the unofficial start. It might as well officially be the start. And the only thing this shifted schedule would need to avoid in competing with MLB is probably avoid a marquee matchup on opening day of MLB. But after that, I would imagine it would take the cake in ratings. And I've actually been a proponent of even moving college basketball back a little too. I think instead of March Madness, we should have April Madness, but maybe that's for a different time.
I think the big problem with that is, like, people don't watch regular season college basketball anyway.
Right.
So they might as well just hold the brand March Madness. Like, it's
True
the
story.
only thing they have going
point.
anyway.
Yeah, I buy that.
When does that start?
Soon. Selection Sunday's coming up because
Are you doing your bracket again?
No, we retired it. It was too much work, man. We had so you number one podcast listeners, maybe some of you were even in the pool. My brother and I had this 13 years of this bracket challenge and grew it to crazy amounts of people in the pool. Like, winners were getting like $1,000 and the buy-in was $10, and it was just getting ridiculous. It was like another job to have in March. So kind of glad to be done with it, at least for now. Never say never, but for right now we retired it.
I remember, like, my first year I filled out a bracket. I picked, like, the entire Final Four in the championship, right? And I've always thought I was good at them, and I'm, like, trash now that I think about it.
Especially
but the first
this
time
year.
I was, the first time I was, like, a child picking his favorite team, I'm like, well, Duke's blue, so that they obviously beat red. And, like, I got it right, and I was like, I'm a fucking genius. Like, what's so tough about this?
I couldn't imagine this year, especially because obviously I'm in Ohio, so I'm sure I would have had plenty of Dayton bias here. So it would have been a very popular pick, probably more so than most other bracket pools. But anyway, we're sticking with the NBA in the other Yeah Fam or Nah. The Lakers beat the East leading Milwaukee Bucks and then the Clippers in back-to-back games. Yeah Fam or Nah, is it a big deal? Are they your favorite? And if so, did this weekend convince you that they were your favorite? Or if they aren't, who is?
Well, I mean, I'm one of those pieces of shit that has a East team and a West team, an AL and an NL team, an NFC, AFC, that kind of thing. I'm a Lakers fan, so this was actually such a big fucking deal for me because I genuinely thought we were pretenders. I mean, we have LeBron, which is basically we can flip a switch in the playoffs, and I was pretty confident we'd at least compete. Yep. But I was real nervous until we won those back-to-back games because I was like, I mean, the thing with like regular season games that makes them cool, especially in big ones, and these are the only reason I watch the matchups, is they play it like it's a 1-game series. Like it's not a 7-game series. It's not like, all right, we lost, but we still have home court. Like people go fucking hard in these games, especially because it's going to be a talking point come back the playoffs.
100%.
And I mean, we solidified our number 1 seed. I think it's a big deal. Like I think it's a huge deal, and I was really impressed and happy. So yeah, I mean, it's got to be big.
Yeah, not a lot of disagreement here. I'm a fan. I'm usually not one for regular season games meaning more than they should. Like, I always kind of criticize when LeBron was in the East, when the Raptors and Celtics would treat it like it was more important, and you just knew LeBron in the playoffs was going to own him no matter what happened. But like you said, it was kind of unknown. They were 0-2 against the Clippers this year, and the Lakers beat 2 legit title contenders. And they made Giannis play more minutes than he ever has all year.
Back to back. Like each team rested stars before the game, so they got their best.
And Kawhi had no assists and just 2 rebounds. I mean, he put up points, but nothing else. So,
I mean, Kawhi's one of the most overrated players in my mind.
This is a LeGod James podcast anyway, so you're amongst family here.
You know I'm here for that. Like, I'm a big LeBron guy. I mean, you and I have countless times been like, even Okudah, who's a Cavs fan, but I'm like, LeBron, he'd be like, oh, we're going to suck this year in the playoffs. I'm like, what haven't you guys been watching? Like, you have to see, like, he flips a switch. He's not trying in the regular season.
And he gets people to play out of their mind. Like, one of those, Clippers game, they got production from Avery Bradley.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Up until this past year, I forgot Avery Bradley was still in the league.
I like Avery Bradley mostly because in 2K he's pretty fucking solid. But I'm with you. I mean, LeBron turns it on, and this was just proof that again he's going to turn it on. It doesn't matter how old he is; he's going to turn it on.
I can't wait to see how the playoffs shake out, but I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Yeah, we haven't disagreed on anything so far.
I know, it doesn't make for very much fun.
Not entertaining, though. Let's argue about the next thing. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a problem when I go over to You Played Yourself. You tend to not agree with me on that one. Okay.
Yeah, because you're petty as fuck.
It's on brand, baby. We're keeping that energy.
Petty alert. Petty alert.
Okay, so it's a nice segue. First of all, we're on to You Played Yourself. We all love this section. So, the last time the Bucks and Lakers played, Giannis crowned himself. You played yourself, Giannis. Didn't you? I mean, I respect the desire of Giannis wanting to be king. He crowned himself. It was a popular gif. It still is. More so because we're making fun of him now. But there's only one king, and he hasn't given up his crown. And no, he doesn't need to fucking crown himself. He had Kyle Kuzma put it on him after he beat the Bucks and Clippers in back-to-back games. Don't play yourself, Giannis.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you're right. He did.
More on them later, by the way.
Really? There's more coming? Man, you fucking hate Giannis.
Well, more regarding this highly talked about MVP race.
Oh, it's okay. It's a Lakers podcast. I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, apparently it is this week.
Can't spell Premal without LA, baby.
Before I guess that's true.
You're great.
That's phenomenal. You're damn right.
I'm here for it.
Day 1 since day 2, baby.
Oh my goodness. All right, next.
Okay. Anyway, staying in the NBA, Patrick Beverley, following their loss, was asked about how difficult it is to guard LeBron.
Can you describe the challenge it is defensively when LeBron...
No challenge.
But particularly the end of the game...
No challenge.
Can you describe what it's like as a defender to when he tries to force the switches
Not hard
with
at
the
all.
guard.
You know, I struggle with this dude. I don't want to have to put Patrick Beverley on You Played Yourself because he fucking is petty. He's on brand for us. But, you know, I already said it. It's a LeGod James podcast. So even though he talks the most shit, and sometimes I'm for it, I can't fully put him on a squad of all hate like Draymond the Woat or our favorite Bakey Bakes in Cleveland. But he teeters. So LeBron scored or assisted on the Lakers' last 13 points, including just manipulating the Clippers' defense, switching on to whoever he wanted. He would switch on to Lou Williams and Patrick Beverley, who became liabilities towards the end of the game when the Clippers had to be on a switch everything scenario. Basically, how they constructed their team, and he picked them apart. So you can't tell me, like, I know he's keeping that petty energy, but I mean, it seems a little ridiculous coming right after the game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I will never like Patrick Beverley just because, did you know Russell Westbrook hadn't missed a game since, like, freshman year of high school until Patrick Beverley dove at his knee while they were calling a timeout, like, tore his fucking meniscus or whatever the fuck it was.
Dirty.
Yeah, I've just ever since, Russell Westbrook literally hadn't missed a game since high school. He rolled his ankle, so, like, rolled ankles keep people out for weeks. Russell Westbrook missed 2 minutes. Like, that was it. He got a little ice on there and he went out, and Pat Beverley dove at his fucking knee. So he's one of those guys I want to see, like, just not succeed. Like, he's my main. Obviously, I want the Lakers to win. I don't hate the Clippers like a lot of Lakers fans, but yeah, I mean, Patrick Beverley can kick rocks for all I care. That guy's a bum.
Okay, so I mentioned it a little bit. Speaking of Draymond the Woat Green, time and time again, this man finds himself in this section. So, Draymond Green recently was criticized by TNT and Charles Barkley, and he had the following to say.
No, Barkley should stop before I go take his job, though. I can do that well, too. He also can't talk basketball with me either. Not smart enough, not qualified. No rings, can't sit at this table.
You know what? Draymond's right. I guess he can't sit at the table. I mean, all Barkley has is an MVP, 11 measly All-Star game appearances, 11 times on the NBA team. You know, he's a 2-time Olympic gold medal. He's had his jersey retired in just 2 franchises and the college he went to. No big deal. I mean, it's fucking nothing compared to when you look at Green's accolades. Like, I mean, he was teammates with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and King Snake Kevin Durant. I mean, it's nothing, right? He can't talk to Draymond, right? When you compare those resumes, who are we to say? Get the fuck out of here, Draymond. You think people actually want to listen to your dumbass talk over Charles Barkley? And that's saying a lot. Oh, and we'll remember what you said, and we'll expect you to keep that same energy if you ever try to talk to Allen Iverson or Patrick Ewing or Karl Malone, Vince Carter, anyone who doesn't have a ring, because that's your lone argument, right? One of the most accomplished players in NBA history. He doesn't have a ring, so he can't sit at the table with you. He can't talk basketball with you. Get the fuck out of here. This guy's the fucking worst. Could you imagine, honestly, making an argument to a player who played in Michael Jordan's era about not winning a ring? Wow, you were on a team that had a fucking literal snake join your team and have 2 of your rings not even count.
Heavy alert.
Unreal. As former NBA player Vernon Maxwell put it, quote, Sir Charles would have 10 rings if he had Steph, Clay, and KD for teammates, end quote. And go fuck yourself, Draymond the Woat Green.
I think nobody hates anything more than you hate Draymond.
He's the fucking worst.
My main issue with Draymond is, like, they aren't the greatest team ever. Like, it's not like, I mean, the Lakers were a better dynasty. They three-peated twice. The Warriors won 3 in 4 years or something, but, like, I mean, they're just not even better than the Lakers, who won 6 in however many years. I mean, the Bulls won 6 in, 8 years? They took 2 off in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're the best ever, and then it's the Lakers. I mean, this is obviously excluding, like, the fucking early teams when there was, like, 4 teams and Wilt Chamberlain's going against Milkmen and shit. But, like...
I thought Wilt Chamberlain wasn't real.
No, he actually did not score 100 points. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain existed as a person, but there's no record that he he had 100 points. There's nothing except that photo of him holding up 100, which for all we know could be 100% free throws. And the NBA at the time needed to get more people more interested, so they put look. I will get on about Wilt Chamberlain because that is fucking propaganda. Like, that never happened. That's bullshit. There's not one person that has ever come forward and been like, I was at that game. Not one person has ever talked about it. That's not freaky to you guys? Like, no one else is like, oh, okay. Like, imagine someone described to you like the Eli Manning and the helmet catch. They were like, oh yeah, it was the most amazing play ever. They beat the undefeated Patriots, and it was just like, yeah, you know anyone that went? He's like, no, I've never heard anyone actually beat it. That's what happened. No one was like, yeah, I was at Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. No, it never happened. And people are like, oh, I heard it on the radio. I'm sure he did. I'm sure Wilt Chamberlain was dribbling around in an open gym, running from one end to the other, doing layups. That shit never happened. It just didn't happen. But anyway, Draymond is not. He's like the worst fucking person, and I know if in an alleyway he could throw me in any dumpster and roll me down a hill, but I'm still swinging at him because if I can just connect once, I'd be so happy. Like, he's the most punchable person in sports right now, maybe ever, just because like him with that kick thing and it's his natural shooting motion, bro. Like, I hate that shit. He gets under my skin too, and he always says he's so consistent. Like, dude, shooting 30% from anywhere on the floor isn't consistent. Like, you're just trash. Like, you're a bad player. You're the third or fourth best player on what was a good team. You're being carried by the greatest shooter of all time. And what's funny is maybe the second greatest shooter of all time is on that team. And then they went and added like, if you were an NBA 2K and you had to make a guy like an offensive player just to put up points, you'd make Kevin Durant. You'd actually probably roll him back a little because you're like, this isn't fun. Like, that's how actually talented is. And Draymond's like, oh yeah, like fucking Charles Barkley can't talk to me. Eat shit, Draymond Green. Like, oh my god, he's so punchable. We got him. I'm getting heated right now. Like, you got me heated. Your fucking heat has transferred to me. Like, I'm angry now.
Hot takes are contagious, and we also had our first time machine. You played yourself to Wilt Chamberlain,
What it
so
do, baby?
nobody else is doing this shit.
I'm telling, Wilt never scored 100 points. Look it up. Don't be sheep. Like, I'm dead serious. This is my Pete Carroll has 9/11. I have Wilt Chamberlain never scored 100 points in a basketball game. Did not happen.
And don't just give my guy Thomas the picture of the 100 either. You know better.
Yeah. Like, absolutely. Like, oh yeah, I'm really gonna fucking buy that shit. What, you think I could roll out any number and be like, yeah, no, sorry, no one was at the game. I hit 12 home runs. That's crazy, but I really did it. I swear. Like, fuck that. Absolutely not.
First accounts only. I need audio recording of your grandparents that were at that game.
No, I want a picture. Show me a video of him in a layup or something. They had it back then. They had video. There was TV. Like, how is the game not on? Was there someone fact check that later. But if there was TV at that point, I don't know when TV came out, but if there was TV and it wasn't on, that is so fucking clearly fake. Like, just imagine some tragedy happened. Like, oh yeah, my house caught fire, but your house is totally fine the next day. Everyone's gonna be, not sure I'm buying it, dude. And you gotta be, yo, trust me, bro. I heard it on the radio. That shit ain't real. That shit's propaganda. And Wilt Chamberlain is, and then now there's these stories coming out how he fucking competed when he was a child. He was like, oh, he's like 4 years old and he has a fake name to play with teenagers. No, I'm sorry, this guy's not fucking John Henry. Like, he's not the man against the machine, which is what people make Wilt Chamberlain out to be for some reason. And I do believe he was a big guy and he was super athletic and shit, but sorry, Jews used to play this game in a fucking cage. Like, if Wilt Chamberlain went back then and played against Jews in the cage when they fucking invented the sport, I still don't think he puts up 100 points. So I'm not buying he did it in the age of professional basketball.
On that, there's no good segue from there. Okay, so the next you played yourself. So remember at the NFL Combine where a reporter asked Jeff Okudah about his sloppy play?
Sometimes you have a tendency to get kind of sloppy. How are you looking to kind of improve that?
Sloppy in what way?
Use penalties and stuff like that.
I had 0 pass interferences, 0 holdings, so cut the tape on again. I think you might see something else.
So that quote reporter, we're using that loosely, who asked that question, identified himself, outed himself. It was a Pranav Rama of the Score Crow.
The fuck is that?
So yeah, I mean, he played himself. You played yourself, Pranav. So, I mean, we already talked about it. The guy played himself. We know that. So why is he on here again? I mean, we all make mistakes, right? This dude doubled down. On a tweet said, so apparently I was trending yesterday because of how I pressed Jeff Okudah. It may be just a play or two, but those plays are the difference between a Super Bowl and a couch sitting at home. It's our job to ask the tough questions, whether the general people like it or not. End tweet. What fucking tough questions? This man used verbatim, quote, like penalties and stuff like that, end quote. That was after Okudah asked for clarification. Stuff like that is asking the tough questions? In what fucking world? Is that pressing someone like, oh, you're sitting down, you committed a crime, and a detective sits you down and says, oh, I don't know, like crimes and stuff like that. That's pressing you hard? You sweating from that? Just admit it was a dumb question done without research.
Yeah.
So then let's turn it over. Let's hear from the Score Crow. Their official statement. We have let Pranav Rama go from our site. His error in judgment and lack of research involving Jeff Okudah at the Combine was inexcusable. We understand that people make mistakes, but Pranav not only embarrassed himself and us, he also doubled down. Instead of apologizing for the lack of preparation and moving on, he made the situation worse. It was unprofessional and does not reflect our values here at the Score Crow. We strive to be accurate and give intelligent analysis in our sports coverage. Pranav, care to respond? He then in a tweet said, I've seen the ugly parts of sports business, so I've decided to leave the Score Crow.
Safe face, man. That's cool.
I will be putting my talents elsewhere. I just can't work in an environment with no respect, he continued.
He's like, nah, I'm breaking up with you. Sorry.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking weak, but, like, I mean, it's one thing to say Jeff Okudah had some sloppy play, because, I mean, there's, like, his hips are, sometimes he literally swings his hips the wrong way. You can coach that. It's a little sloppy. But to straight up say he has penalties? Sorry, Jeff Okudah is fucking blazing fast and doesn't hold anybody. Sorry, doesn't happen. That guy's so full of shit and ruined his reputation. I've never heard of the Score Crow before that, but, I mean, good on them for firing him. That's what I would have fucking done.
Amen. You played yourself. I can live with, you probably preparing for a lot of people, right? And you're trying to get shine and ask someone a question. Okay, fine. You made a mistake, but then to act like you didn't fucking say it?
Yeah, or that it's somehow right.
And act like you made a tough question? The dude said, like, Okudah was like sloppy how? And he goes, like penalties and stuff like that. What the fuck?
Really quick, and then we can move on. I just want this clear. So you disagree that Jeff Okudah doesn't have sloppy plays like penalties and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Because he didn't commit a penalty.
How do you know that? Because he played the games, right? And you can watch the games and you see there's no penalties. Well, you can't watch Wilt Chamberlain put up a hypothetical 100 fucking points. This is what I'm saying. Like, there's no proof. Like, it's as ridiculous, but it doesn't get covered by anyone ever. Like, someone in sports journalism has to contact me because I'm ready to bankroll this. Like, I'm down. It's a fucking myth. It never happened. Jeff's dad owns, like, a part of the floor that he allegedly got 100 points on. No, I don't think so. Now they're selling the parts of the floor he maybe got 100 points on for large sums. It's bullshit. It's a fucking scam.
Let's just go get a square of parquet floor and sell people the same.
I mean, he could have scored on any of them because no one knows where it happened. Like, it's insanity.
We'll never know. Or whatever. You do know. It didn't happen.
Oh, I know for a fact it did not happen. Like, yeah, that just didn't happen.
All right. On that Wilt Chamberlain note, we're on 100, baby. Just like Wilt. Just kidding. Okay.
No,
who you got? What you feeling is up. So last week, I had Mike Adams on, former NFL lineman. So we talked about his favorite moments, least favorite, all that stuff. We also talked about who Washington should select at number 2. We both felt it should be Chase Young. What do you think?
I mean, that should be Chase Young. I'm not a big Dwayne Haskins guy. I mean, you know me, I'm like a huge quarterback scout. I watch all these guys. I've watched everybody that's projected to come out of a draft. I watch all their games. Like, that's all I've been doing. I'm not even done with Jordan Love's games. I finished like Herbert and all them. But I mean, Tua's pretty good, but you just don't pass on Chase Young unless they get a bonkers haul like what they gave away for Robert Griffin. You hold on to the pick no matter what. You take Chase Young. Obviously, in an ideal world, the Dolphins come knocking and they're like, take both of our firsts or whatever it is, both our first and a second. And the Redskins are like, sure. I don't think they need a quarterback. Mike Adams is a bright guy. I mean, people don't think of offensive linemen as smart, but they're probably the most cerebral guys on a football field. So like even hearing him talk was nice. I don't know where he thinks they should trade for a quarterback from. I mean, he's a fucking Ohio State alum, and he's like, give up on Haskins. So someone needs to revoke that card from my boy Mike Adams there. But no, they take Chase Young.
He didn't mean it.
Yeah. He's got some fucking explaining to do, because that's like, when I heard that I was like, that doesn't sound right. He's basically that's crazy.
Worth noting, I think I brought this up, but if Washington does add Chase Young, they have Montez Sweat, Young, and Ryan Kerrigan to rotate off the edge. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Montez Sweat's bonkers good, and Kerrigan's on the end of his career, but him and just Montez and Chase Young on the ends is that's great. I mean, Daniel Jones is going to fumble.
That would be like a DeMarcus Ware situation like he was in Denver. Basically a coach.
Yeah, he just rotates in for obvious passing downs. Like, it's not like Chase Young and Montez Sweat both couldn't actually even kick to the inside on the passing down. Like, both guys have played with their hand in the dirt anyway. So I think Chase Young's generational. I actually think he's a better prospect than Julius Peppers, who went 1 overall. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Good track record at Ohio State, too, and especially Larry Johnson, the line coach there.
Yeah. I mean, Ohio State's an NFL breeding ground for good players right now.
What it do, baby? Yeah.
Now, that segues into what I wanted to ask you this week. You're a quarterback guy, so I wanted to do a little quarterback who you got on this one. I got a couple for you, okay? QB's in the NFL draft. Who is the third quarterback taken? A lot of people think it's between Jordan Love or Justin Herbert, but I'll give you any one of them, assuming, or maybe you don't feel that it's going to go Burrow, Tua, but who's your third quarterback taken?
My third quarterback is Herbert. I think that Eason is the quarterback that gets taken in the first that no one expects.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my Eason is actually my third best quarterback in this draft, just scouting wise. So I think some teams like the Pats or someone like that are gonna see him late and take him. But he's, you know how every year one random quarterback goes like late and people are like, what the fuck's going on there? I think Eason's that quarterback this year.
All right, I dig that. Okay, so I set the over-under at 4.5 quarterbacks in round 1. Where are you going? The under right now, for what it's worth, for you degenerates, is at -150. So what do you take in round 1? How many quarterbacks go?
I'm going to go under.
Under, all right.
Yeah, so I think it's 4.
Okay. And so Herbert, and do you think it's Eason is the 4th one then?
Yeah, I think it's Eason. Yeah, I actually think Eason might go 3rd. That'd be my hot take.
Wow. You standing by the hot take, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, that one's not off the record. I think Eason might go 3rd. I don't think it's like the most shocking thing in the world, because I once people watch Eason, they'll be like, oh yeah, I get it.
Okay, so I know you haven't really gotten to him, you said, but what are your thoughts on Jordan Love then? Is the hype real?
I'm only on 5 of his games. I only watched I watched the huge games they had from like years before their final year.
Yeah.
And I'll watch I'll usually do the 2 best games from each season, the 2 worst games from each season, and then their entire final year of playing. From what I've done the 2 best, 2 worst, everything with Love. All I'm up to right now is I have no fucking clue. This is one of those things where you know how everyone on the couch thinks they're smarter than the people making decisions?
Yep.
they might be smarter than me. They might be seeing something I'm not seeing, because to me he's like a second, third round project. He's like, you remember Tavares Jackson by any chance?
Of course.
Yeah, he's a lot like Tavares Jackson in like he has all the tools, but can you really even trust him to put it together? Because he's not showing huge improvement.
Right. I know his stats don't really show it, but that's a simple just reading thing, and I know their scouts are in love with his size, right? That's the main thing.
I'm not saying size is everything. I'm just saying you can never coach someone up 2 inches.
True.
I mean, Julie tries coaching me up 2 inches. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding.
What it do, baby?
Yeah. My penis is very small, but she doesn't care, so we're good.
It's got the energy of a Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game, though.
Oh shit! I played myself.
Congratulations, you played.
All right, I promised we'd go over it. The NBA MVP race. So after this big weekend, it appears that the NBA MVP race is very close between LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis also suffered a knee injury, so he's not thought to miss too many games, but will miss at least a couple. Right now, the current odds are at LeBron plus 300 to win MVP and Giannis at minus 416. Who you got? NBA MVP.
Who would I vote for? Giannis. Giannis. Like I mean, I do think he is the best player in basketball right now. I do think he's a better player than LeBron right now. If he wins, I mean, I don't know. I would love to see. You got to remember, and I know, like, I don't know how many people listening to this, but like I know at least 9 guys that are going to listen to this that'll understand what I'm saying. Anthony Doyle's a really smart guy, and like every now and then he says stuff that kind of comes out as weird. One time he tweeted, and I remember getting a bunch of retweets, he's like, anyone on the planet that says they thought Giannis was going to be this good is lying. And I pulled up an old Facebook status of mine where I said, I can't wait for the Bucks to turn this Greek guy into a demigod who wins multiple MVPs. So I'm pretty excited for that to come true, because I've literally been saving it, waiting for his second MVP. Like, this is almost 2 years running of me saying, like, waiting to tweet this at him nonstop. So I do think Giannis is like, remember what I was talking about, the 2K, like you'd build somebody, if you just could add some shooting to Giannis, he'd be fucking broken. But I mean, look, if LeBron goes on a tear and has like ups his points per game, I know he's leading the league in assists right now, but like he is LeBron.
Yeah, so
too.
What would it take in your estimation if the Lakers clinch the best overall record? Does that give him the MVP?
I think if LeBron can improve a little bit on just his scoring, and they get the number, and they get the first overall, like the best record in the league, yeah, I think he wins MVP. That's my Giannis doesn't get it if he just, and I don't know why people give the benefit of, like, they say Giannis, they're like, oh, Giannis is only playing like 28 minutes a game or something. Cool, that's a knock on him in my mind. Like, that's not. That shouldn't win him MVP. For all we know, those other 4 minutes he's missing, he could go out and clank a bunch or fucking, he still can't. Like, I don't know. I'm a little torn here because I think both have a good, solid case. But yeah, I would lean Giannis, but LeBron's definitely not out of it, and it's not a false conversation. Like, it's a real conversation to have. Just like last year with Harden and Giannis. Like, it was look, I'm not a Harden guy. I don't think he's actually playing basketball. He's playing some weird fucking version of it. But yeah, I mean, I get this conversation this year. Last year I got it too, but obviously I wanted Giannis, so same thing. Same exact thing. I think Giannis wins it, but it's a real conversation and it's close.
All right, so I think this is the first time we've disagreed today. I'm going to go with LeBron. So I actually don't know why LeBron just now, after 2 big games, proved that he should just now be strongly considered for MVP. The fact is, Giannis isn't being punished for being in a weak Eastern Conference like voters have in the past, and that they've previously done to people like LeBron, actually, especially in LeBron's second stint with the Cavs. The East was looked at as weaker. He wasn't really in contention. Yes, I know those are Curry's back-to-back years. You had a Westbrook triple-double year, all that stuff. But if you remember, the narrative wasn't even talking about LeBron in those years. LeBron's putting up tough numbers in a tough Western Conference every night. And his team is also atrocious on offense without him, to the tune of, like, their offensive team ranking is second with him and 29th without him. So I think LeBron, his weekend helped, and part of it is a story. I get that. You can't discount that. But if you're dismissing this altogether, like you said, I mean, that's just ridiculous. This is an actual race, and Giannis missing games isn't going to help. I do agree that the Lakers finishing with a better record, which they are absolutely in striking distance of doing, would help LeBron's chances. LeBron's weekend, just to give you guys an idea, you number one podcast listener, his weekend made bettors take down their odds temporarily because they were kind of unsure.
Yeah, they got nervous.
I think people were hammering LeBron bets at good odds. So I'm excited to see how it pans out. I guess it's a win-win either way because you get to exercise your petty energy if Giannis does get this, but otherwise, LeBron James secures his 5th MVP at age 35.
Yeah,
crazy.
I just want to throw a tad because I agree with most of what you said there. I do think Giannis is just having the better year, but I just want to throw something in there. Like you said, how they pulled their odds. I feel like that should just be fucking illegal for some reason. It just seems weird. Isn't it weird that they could just be like, "Oh, sorry, we don't know what's going on. Like, you can't place bets anymore." Like, no, you should roll the odds in knowing
right,
that this shit might change.
You can change them, but you should have to live with whatever until they are changed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can't just suddenly, like, that seems weird. Like, it sounds like someone's,
right.
Like, you ever think about how weird the scoring is in tennis is? It's like a fucking kid made up the game, and they were just like, they scored first, and they were like, oh, that one's worth fucking 15. Like, and the other person's like, whatever. It's like their babysitter. They're like, all right, I don't give a shit. And they're like, all right. I scored. It's 15-15. They're like, no, it's fucking love right now. And you're just like, all right, I don't give a shit. Like, making up the rules.
Because we can't say zero.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, all right, cool. We're gonna play to 60. And he's like, no, like you got to score again. And he's just like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's kind of like what Vegas does with the fucking gambling here. They're just like, actually, I'm gonna change the rules a little bit, like, every single day. Absolutely not. Why should this ever change? Like, if the Warriors, and I understand people, like, shit changes and shit like that, so it's like, whatever, but I don't know, maybe just don't go fucking crazy with it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, what about what are you feeling lately, man?
So my favorite band ever, Bright Eyes, is actually coming back, and they're touring in New York, and I got tickets, so I'm pretty excited about that because I haven't seen them in years. I told Julie, because once they came back, Julie was like, let's go. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to. But I got the tickets. I secured them. It's a big secret. And I'm going to Baltimore this weekend for my birthday, so I'm pretty pumped.
Let's go. Happy birthday.
I'm going to go to the aquarium. Yeah, I'm going to try and steal a fish. So let's see what happens. That's my whole goal, is there's a touch tank and there's fish in it. My whole goal at the Baltimore National Aquarium is to steal a fish. That's all I want to do. I want to get one fish. I plan on bringing in my backpack, and there's going to be nothing in it. I'm going to buy water from there, pour it into my backpack, have a little liner, and put the fish in there and walk around. Make sure it's the right kind of water, though. Don't play yourself. If it dies, it dies. You know, I didn't say I wanted a live fish. I just want to steal a fish. Like, that's not. I don't want to be. I don't want a fish. I don't want a pet. I just want to take a fish of theirs. Like, I want them to have one less fish. I have one more. That's it.
Big trust. Big trust.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's not. It's Team Petty for sure. But, like, I just want. I want one of their fucking fish, man. Like, I can't explain it. Like, why do they have so many fish? There's no way someone counts all the fish at the end of the night. There's just no way someone's like, oh, all 10 stingrays are in the fucking touch tank. I can get away with it. And every time I touch a stingray, I just want to fucking bite one. Like, you ever touch one and it's like a slimy thing? It like feels like a cold cut. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm always like, I wonder what you fucking taste like. You ever have like 9 craft singles and you just take a bite and you see like the weird rings with like your teeth? Like, I guarantee that's what it's like to bite into a stingray. The same thing as eating like 9 craft singles.
Yeah. Why hasn't anybody tried it?
I don't know, dude. Like, I want to just bite. No one knows. Like, I just want to eat a fucking stingray, like flat. Like, just pick it up out of the water, bite it, and see what happens.
Who decided to crack open a shell of an oyster and then just not try the thing swimming around them? That's annoying.
Yeah, I actually am with you all the time. Who opened a shell and was like, what is this, fish cum? I'm going to take it. Like, no, absolutely not. Like, who was the first person to do that shit? Like, milk. Who's the first person that milked a cow and was like, this is fucking good? No. Like, what other gross shit didn't make it through the pipeline? Like, he's like, oh, cow milk? Great. He's like, pig piss? Horrible. No. I'm just saying, at some point, someone saw a cow and was like, I'm going to drink that shit. And that's weird. Like, there's a fundamental societal line that was crossed at some point.
We want answers. Wilt Chamberlain, cows and milk. What do stingrays taste like?
I need answers.
What I'm feeling is Lil Uzi Vert's new album, Eternal A Take, finally came out. He delayed it, and all of a sudden, it just appeared. So I dig the album. He's a very consistent artist. If you're a hip-hop fan, I think you'll dig it too. Maybe you won't. I have friends that don't like him, but I do. So,
really? Uzi's like the one guy I get into. I mean, I get Childish Gambino, Uzi, Chance the Rapper. That's it. Those are the three. Yeah,
Chance,
those are like the
right.
three I can listen to in hip-hop.
I dig it. I wasn't expecting to hear that out of you. I'll take that.
Yeah, those are my three. Those are my... the way Chance just talks, like, it makes me fucking warm. Like, he's flirting with me. Like, I don't know what it is, but every time I'm listening to a Chance song and I'm just, like, smiling, I'm like, trumpet in the background. This is kind of this is getting me going. Like, I would have sex with Chance the Rapper to Chance the Rapper when it comes down to it. Like, I know he's not asking, but if he did, I'd say yes. So, well, trumpet in there? Tell me about it. Like, tell me how I felt to the tune of some trumpet. Like, that's what I'm saying.
All right. Let's wrap up the episode with Too Much Sense. My advice to you number one podcast listeners, more than 2 cents worth, of course. This week, it is about owning your mistakes and owning your oversights, especially with other people. I know this is shocking to think, but being argumentative, yes, I'm not always argumentative, just to prove you're not wrong isn't always the right way. Owning your mistake goes a long way with people around you, and it's oftentimes all they're looking to hear. So sometimes it's quite all right to just own them and move on. And that's my Too Much Sense for this week.
Wow, that's some pretty good advice. From the guy that screams at me about Draymond Green once a month. That's some...
Listen, man, I'm a different beast with sports.
Why don't you just own your mistakes and admit Kevin Durant won a ring?
Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're like, anyway, that wraps up this week. See you later.
I'm really hoping for his sake he wins his first one, maybe in Brooklyn with Kyrie.
I'm done with you.
Kyrie can probably show him a thing or two.
Get me out of here.
Anyway, that wraps up another edition of the number one podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee. This has been your host, Premal Bot, and I want to thank you, Thomas, for joining us this week, and we'll talk to you next time.